Hello everybody, my name is Sophia, and today I will be giving my accounting profession presentation on being a Certified Financial Services Auditor, also known in its abbreviated term as CFSA. Now, what exactly is a CFSA? Well, let's start with the term that we are all most likely familiar with, auditor. Auditors are the people who inspect organizations' financial accounts to make sure that they are both correct and in accordance with the law. There are three different types of auditors, including external audits, internal audits, and IRS audits. CFSA is an internal audit profession, making sure that everything is accurate and that it complies with GAAP, aka the Generally Accepted Accounting Principles. Now, let's delve further into the world of CFSA. What type of businesses might someone in the CFSA profession work in? Well, they work in bank institutions, insurance companies, financial services, security and commodity services, credit unions, and many other organizations that may require the services of a CFSA. You may be wondering now, what exactly are those services performed by a CFSA? Well, though similar to the roles of an accountant in their analysis of financial data, financial auditors concentrate more on uncovering and preventing errors or fraud in financial documents. Also, unlike accountants, they do not adjust or make any accounting entries, but rather give an organization in the right direction, guide an organization in the right direction so that they may have the data, details, or information necessary to correct the errors and frauds that they have discovered. Financial auditors review organizations' financial statements, data, documents, accounting entries, as well as information in any financial reporting system, and in order to present all of their findings to the organizations, they speak with multiple departments, ranking both high and low, so that they may acquire all the information needed to analyze their data to get better insight or understanding of how that company works. And they use this data to solve issues regarding tasks, policies, or procedures that perhaps need to be initiated or be done more frequently or more effectively than it currently is. On the day-to-day basis, CFSAs use their analytical skills to evaluate financial reports by testing documentations of transactions given by a company. Testing is done by revealing monetary errors or identifying any misstatements in a company's reports, documents, accounting records, etc., as it is needed as evidence that a company records are accurate, complete, and relevant. And these tests are held to the standards or laws of GAAP and the Generally Accepted Auditing Standards, GAAS. The information gathered from a CFSA's analysis is used to further develop a company where an audit was performed. CFSAs also often evoke change to financial reporting procedures and internal controls to further amplify a company's efficiency and overall performance. A quick summary of the CFSA responsibilities is identifying key issues and areas for further analysis, verifying documents and planning financial audits, evaluating financial statements and accounts, compiling and presenting your findings to the company's stakeholders, as well as advising changes or actions to be made in the business. Alright, now if this sounds like something that you may be interested in, if you may be interested in this field, I think it's best to go over both the pros and the cons. Well, as for pros, the first one is the pay is pretty sweet, and by being a certified financial service auditor rather than just a financial auditor, is that your pay potential is at a 38% increase compared to other people in that field without the certification. You will also pretty much secure a job wherever you go, as it is in a high demand. And you also have much more opportunities for advancement, and it will help to earn credibility and respect in your field. One more pretty good pro is that it's pretty much a recession-proof job, as are most accounting jobs, as they are typically the last to go in a recession. Now, what about the cons of this profession? Well, to many people, the work can be very dull but if it's not for you, then go for it. You also work very long hours, and it can be quite a stressful job. You also need to pass some difficult exams to become a CFSA, and it does demand ongoing education. Now, what education is required? Well, the education required in this profession is either a bachelor's degree or a master's degree in accounting or a related field. One can obtain a bachelor's degree in just 3 years, some in 4 to 6 years, and it varies depending on what program you take or how fast you are able to knock off those credits. However, having a degree is not the only thing that is required in this profession. Work experience is also required. One can either start the experience while in school, or perhaps after they finish, they can begin. As in the title of this profession, certification is needed to become a CFSA. I am assuming that depending on which program and what education or work experience you already have, the requirements may differ, but through my research I was provided with some different answers, but mainly they are about the same. While most people have a bachelor's degree in accounting or related field, they also must have 24 months of auditing experience or 2 years, as well as pass a certified public accounting exam. And the CFSA exam is a 2-hour exam that has 2 parts. The first part containing 40 multiple questions, and the latter part containing of 2 short case studies. One can also become a CFSA after passing the exam with only an associate's degree. But in order to obtain that, they need to have about 60 months of auditing experience, aka 5 years. And the typical time that it takes for one to prepare for this profession, I would say, is roughly about 6 to 8 years, once again depending on what program you choose or how fast you're able to complete these courses. So yes, as a rough estimate, I'd say 6 to 8 years. Now, the typical salary that a certified financial services auditor makes in the United States is $94,000. The typical salary that certified financial services auditor makes in California is about $94,403 per year. Although I was having quite some difficulty in finding the average salary, some said a bit less in the 80,000, and some were even as high as 130,000. However, between my research, I found that the middle ground was about $90,000 salary per year. And thank you all for listening to my presentation.